In this video, we're going on a trip in Dubrovnik, Croatia. It's a captivating city on Croatia's southern coast, renowned for its stunning medieval architecture. We visited in September and the weather was just right, not too hot. One day was cloudy, the other sunny, so we got to enjoy two different vibes in just 2 days. The old town is fully pedestrian only, and most tourists stay outside the walls and come in by bus Rupe. And having the Dubrovnik pass makes things super easy. It covers most of the must-see spots, so you can just enjoy without stressing about tickets. First, let's take a quick dive into the town's history. It'll give you some fun context before exploring the city. Founded in the 7th century as Ragusa by Roman refugees fleeing invasions, Dubrovnik evolved into a significant maritime republic known as the Republic of Ragusa. In the 15th century their boat was the Cadillac of ships, even mentioned by Shakespeare. Seriously damaged by an earthquake in 1667, Dubrovnik was rebuilt with ideas about social planning and public space. Damage inflicted during the Homeland War of 1991 to 1995 was soon patched up, and a boom in tourism followed. The city shot to international fame after being featured as King's Landing in Game of Thrones, and fans have been flocking here ever since. As the east entrance to the old town Dubrovnik, Ploče Gate are built in Romanesque style at the end of 14th century. In Game of Thrones, Cersei Lannister passing over this bridge and enters to the Red Keep after her walk of shame. The gate consists of inner and outer section and incorporates a stone bridge. Right after you pass through the gate, you're greeted with a gorgeous harbor view. It really sets the tone.
Yes.
Just inside the gate, you'll find yourself on St. Dominic Street. These are the filming spot of many marketplace scenes in Game of Thrones. Do you remember the preaching scene? To enter it you need to pay another €4, not included in Dubrovnik Pass. We only took a quick peek at this monastery, but spent more time exploring the Franciscan church and monastery instead, which is covered by the Dubrovnik Pass. It does look very similar, doesn't it? Same kind of serene cloisters and stone architecture. If you didn't know better, you might think you were in the same place twice. It also has pharmacy museum and a world-renowned collection of ancient manuscripts. Further in, you'll reach the heart of the old town, a lively square surrounded by historic buildings, situated at the eastern end of Stradun. Blaise is the patron saint for Dubrovnik. Do you notice him holding a model of the city in his hand? It's totally free to enter and contains many Baroque works of art. The Rector's Palace is a stunning blend of Gothic, Renaissance, and Baroque styles, a reminder of the city's powerful past as a maritime republic. This spot is included with the Dubrovnik Pass, so make sure to swing by and check it out. This is used as a setting in Car. Daenerys asks the Spice King of the city to lend her a boat. In a courtyard with its elegant staircases and arches, concerts are sometimes held here. In Dubrovnik's historical context, the rector was the head of the Republic of Ragusa, basically the city-state's chief executive. He was elected by the noble council and served only 1 month to prevent corruption or power grabs. During that month, he lived and worked inside the rector's palace and couldn't leave unless absolutely necessary. Talk about lockdown. The second floor are the museum rooms, showcasing period furniture and portraits. These cool iron chests are used by the Republic of Ragusa to store important state documents, seals, and money. Think of it as a medieval safe. Next to the rector's palace is Gondola Siva Poljana Market. It's named after the 17th century poet Ivan Gundulic, and you can find his statue in the square. The city was hit by a devastating earthquake in 1667. Many buildings around here were reconstructed after that quake using improved design. Heading south, you'll come across the famous Jesuit Stairs, a must-see for Game of Thrones fans. Yep, you can totally channel your inner Circe and do your own walk of shame down the Jesuit Stairs, minus the angry crowd, of course. After exploring east side, heading back to Stradun, which is the gleaming limestone paved main street of Dubrovnik's old town. Believe it or not, the street used to be a sea channel dividing two settlements. It was filled in the 11th century to unify the city. Today, it's probably the most polished former canal you'll ever walk on. Onofrio's large fountain is near the Ploče Gate of the old town. Its 16 uniquely carved masts spout drinkable water, straight from the mountains. From this area you could go up the city wall, exit the Ploče Gate, or go south to visit an interesting museum like we did. The entranceway of the museum is a lesser-known Game of Thrones spot. It's a special place for Littlefinger and his friends. The museum itself has no such theme. Instead, it's showcasing the city's traditional way of life. It's free to enter with Dubrovnik's pass, and worth a visit. The museum offers a delightful surprise beyond its fascinating exhibits, a charming view over Dubrovnik's old town. Ploče Gate is at the west end of the old town, also the main entrance. Well, it's also a gate in King's Landing. This gate was once guarded around the clock, and visitors had to surrender their weapons before entering. Total medieval TSA vibes. There's plenty to check out outside the Ploče Gate too, including a bunch of iconic filming locations. West Harbour, also known as Colorina Bay, is a small, sheltered cove just outside Ploče Gate, postcard perfect. It's also instantly recognizable to Game of Thrones fans, as the Blackwater Bay outside King's Landing. You could rent a kayak and paddle along the coast in crystal clear water. Right next to the pier is Fort Lovrijenac. Before you head up, pay attention to area down below. Fort Lovrijenac is right next to the harbor. The climb is approximately 200 to 300 steps, the ascent is steep. But it's totally worth it. You get amazing panoramic views, and even more Game of Thrones filming spots as a reward. The admission is covered by the Dubrovnik Pass. Inside thick-walled chambers and cannon-lined terraces, you'll feel like a real defender of the Republic. This spot looks like the setting for Joffrey's name day, but the actual scene was filmed on the other side of the inner courtyard. Easy to mix up with how similar it all looks. This is where the Hound rescues Sansa. Perched dramatically on a 37-meter cliff, Fort Lovrijenac is the city's mighty guardian from land and sea, and it's often called Dubrovnik's Gibraltar. Up here people are enjoying breathtaking views of the Adriatic, Old Town, and West Harbour below. Even with the clouds, the view from the fort was still absolutely stunning. Moody skies just added to the drama. From this angle, you get a perfect view of the city walls wrapping around the old town, like a stone hug with centuries of stories. This must be the sunset cruise. It was getting close to closing time, so the crowds had thinned out, perfect for wandering around and notice all the details. Walking the wall is a must-do for anyone visiting Dubrovnik. Most people climb up at Ploče Gate to start the loop. It's covered by the Dubrovnik Pass, but keep in mind, you only get one entry, so make it count. We chose early evening to beat the crowds and the heat. There's zero shade up on the wall, so cooler temps made the walk more enjoyable. Nice view of Fort Lovrijenac, which is the Red Keep in King's Landing.
And traveled all different.
It's a bit of a workout. Lots of stairs, little shade, and lots of sun, but the views, totally worth it. There are a few cafes along the way, perfect for grabbing a cold drink. The walls were never breached, a testament to Dubrovnik's strategic genius. They were so well built that they even held up during the 1667 earthquake and the 1990 siege. Yep, people actually live right next to the wall. Imagine having a UNESCO World Heritage Site as your backyard view. Lokrum Island in the distance, it's a 10-minute ferry ride from Dubrovnik's old port, perfect for a half-day nature break. The best part about saving the city wall for last, You get a cool bird's eye recap of everywhere you've been, like flipping through your trip in panorama mode. You'll notice lots of red rooftops. Those with brighter tiles were rebuilt after being damaged during the 1990 siege. Toward the end of the wall walk, there's a perfect little bar where you can stop, kick back, and enjoy a drink with a killer view. Imagine playing basketball here. Arrived at the highest point of the wall Mencita Tower. The tower's base is the House of the Undying in Karth, where Daenerys Targaryen searches for her stolen dragons. The base semicircular tower is crowned by a second tower. Mencita Tower is the crown jewel of Dubrovnik city walls, a towering symbol of the city's resilience and freedom. Enjoying breathtaking vistas of the old town and the Adriatic Sea. As dusk settles in and the light softens, you get a much moodier, more dramatic view of Fort Lovrijenac, perfect for snapping that atmospheric shot. The loop's almost done, but honestly, I didn't want to leave. Wishing time would just hit pause right here, right now. Besides all the must-sees in the old town, don't miss the bird's eye view. It's where those postcard perfect shots come from. Some viewpoints require a cable car or bus ride, but if you're like us and have a car, you can easily drive to all three of these spots. Head straight to the east side of town. There are scenic overlooks that give you that perfect old town view without the hike. The first viewpoint's nice, but the trees do get in the way a bit. Out of the three, this one's my favorite. The view hits just right from this angle. The third spot's a bit far out, makes the old town look smaller. But the nearby tiny island adds a cool twist to the view. Morning light really makes that bird's eye view pop, definitely a great way to kick off your day. If the bird's eye view is the perfect way to kick off the day, then ending it with a night view of the old town is just as special, peaceful and magical. A lot of the shops are still open. Plenty people having late dinner. It's such a great feeling to revisit spots and soak them in at a slower pace. Everything feels more relaxed and meaningful. The iconic Walk of Shame stairs, all to yourself.